Today, we're going to uncover the incredible journey of a common seed, one that's usually just thrown away, but has secretly become a powerhouse in the food industry. You're not going to want to miss this. But first, let me ask you something. Ever really thought about what makes ice cream so incredibly smooth? Or what gives your favorite jam that perfect, spreadable texture? Well, the answer is often an invisible ingredient that's basically a master architect for our food. And that brings us to these secret ingredients that are hiding in plain sight. I can almost guarantee you've eaten some of them today without even knowing it. They're called hydrocolloids. Now, that sounds super technical, right? But the name just comes from the Greek for water and glue. And that's exactly what they are, food glue. These amazing little things are long-chain polymers, and they can come from plants, animals, or even microbes. And food scientists use them for everything, to thicken, to stabilize, and to create that perfect feel in your mouth. So, where do we find these powerful ingredients? Well, sometimes they're in the most unexpected places. It's time to meet the unsung hero of our story, the overlooked tamarind seed. Most of us know the tamarind fruit, right? That sweet and tangy pulp is a star ingredient in cuisines all over the world. Think Asia, Latin America, it's in everything from candies and drinks to savory sauces. But what happens to the seeds once that pulp is all used up? Well, for the most part, they just get tossed, thrown away.
And listen, we're not talking about a small amount of waste here. These seeds make up a staggering 25 to 40% of the entire fruit's weight. For decades, that's meant tons and tons of agricultural waste. But here's the twist. What if that waste was actually the most valuable part?
Because hidden inside that hard, glossy little seed is a true polysaccharide powerhouse.
All right, let's get into the science just for a second. The key player here is called tamarind seed polysaccharide, or TSP for short. Now, chemically, it's a type of xyloglucan made of 3 sugars in a very specific ratio. But what you really need to know is its superpower. When you mix it with water, it forms these incredibly thick, viscous solutions. And it's unbelievably stable. It doesn't break down with heat, acid, or salt, which you can imagine makes it an absolute dream for food manufacturers. Okay, so the potential is obvious. This stuff is amazing. But how do we actually get this substance out of the seed and into our food? Well, that's where the whole extraction process comes in.
There are basically 2 main ways to do it. You can think of the old school conventional way, like slowly simmering a big pot. It works, sure, but it takes forever, uses a ton of energy, and the result isn't exactly perfect. The newer methods, though, are more like using a high-tech pressure cooker or even sound waves to just blast the seed apart. It's way faster, much more efficient, and what you get is a purer, more powerful ingredient. So, looking at this process here, you can see the end goal is pretty much the same no matter which method you use. It's all about carefully separating that super valuable polysaccharide from all the other stuff in the seed, like proteins and fats. And once it's extracted, this purified TSP becomes a true multi-tool for food scientists. I mean, it's not just one thing. It's a gelling agent, it's an emulsifier, it's a thickener, and it's even a crystal inhibitor. That last one, that's the secret to making incredibly smooth frozen desserts. So where have you probably had this wonder ingredient without even knowing it? Well, it's used to give jams and jellies that perfect set. It stops those crunchy ice crystals from forming in your ice cream. It improves the texture and shelf life of bread and cakes. Oh, and it's also a fantastic stabilizer in low-fat dressings and sauces, giving them a creamy texture without all the fat. This is an impressive list, for sure, but the story of the tamarind seed is so much bigger than just making our food better. It's really about changing the way we think about waste. So this is the really crucial point. It's a concept called waste valorization. It's this powerful idea of taking something that we consider a low-value or even zero-value byproduct, in this case, agricultural waste, and completely transforming it into a high-value, sought-after resource. And look, this isn't just some niche science project. As research points out, this kind of work directly supports the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. By turning waste into a useful ingredient, we're literally promoting responsible consumption and production. We're creating a more circular, more sustainable economy. It really makes you think, doesn't it? The tamarind seed went from being a pollutant to a prized ingredient. And it leaves us with a pretty powerful question. What other things that we call waste are just hiding their true potential, just waiting for science to come along and unlock it?